Here is our verse for today. Ramastamaha purushada purishayanna kanta samakshama satapahrita shvavatte tyaktatrapasya phalamadya jugupsitasya yachhami kala iva karturalangya viryaha. So, yeah, Ramas, yeah, masculine, 1-1. Why Ramas? I would like to ask somebody who is just freshly studying the material, if you have learned the Sandhi rules recently. Can one of you say why Ramas? Okay, maybe you have not yet covered the Visarga Sandhi. Okay, anything? Okay, if Visarga is followed by Ta, it turns into S. So that's why Ramastam. Otherwise, it's Ramaha. Okay, and Tam. Tam is a pronoun. Which gender?
Male.
Yeah.
Masculine.
2-1. Tam. Okay. Him. So most likely the object of the sentence. Rama, him. Okay, and aha. Aha.
Said.
What is that?
Said.
Said, yeah, so it's a verb. Verb. Who can tell me the root of aha? You see it quite often actually in Sanskrit, especially in texts like Bhāgavatam. Aha. What is the root? If anybody just knows it.
The root.
Yeah, there's some. This you must be a vidwan to say that. So brew. The root is brew. So how on the earth it turns into aha? Well, that's how the traditional grammars explain. That brew, there are 10 tenses. Past. And can you tell me the tense? The lakara? Which lakara is this? Lit. It's lit. Aha. So brew changes to aha and other forms. There are ata, ahuhu, and others in the last 10 tenses, or even more than that. Anyway, so aha, told. If you remember Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, I believe, just before the Chatushloki, ahus tvam rishayas sarve devarshir naradas tatha. So ahus, which is ahuhu, it's the same word, but it will be first person plural, whereas here it is first person singular. Aha. Purushada purisha. Well, this is something. Okay. Purisha. So now, Purisha. What is at the end of the word Purisha? Can you tell me? Is there any ending, or it ends just on Purisha?
It's Purisha, I think.
Yes.
Visarga.
If there was Visarga, it would change. It would have changed by Sandhi rule. It would be Purisho Yanna. That is explained in in the Sandhi rules. If you open my reference,
And also, if we have a visarga here, then it would be an adjective of Rama, and that it would mean something terrible.
Oh, yeah, that is also, yeah, if you go further. Yeah, so Visarga followed by what you call, Jiva Goswami calls them Gopalas, okay? You have to look into the groups of different consonants. So if Visarga is followed by Gopalas, it, you know, especially after I, they both turned into O, but here it's just Purisha, which means that which case it is. If it's just Purisha and not Purisha Ha.
Sambodhana.
This is Sambodhana, yeah. It's just oh, and then Purisha, the meaning. Stool, which means that, you know, feces, excretion, stool. So now Purushada. Oh, stool,
Purusha
Purushada.
plus Ada. Purusha plus Ada.
Okay, so that's correct. Yeah, Purusha and Ada. So what is Ada?
Low, below.
Ada, no, that is Adas. Adas, it would have, the Visarga would have stayed. Adas, Adaha Purisha. But it's just Ada here. And actually it is eater. Eater, coming from the dhatu, ad, to eat. So Ada is eater. And now it's something scary. So Purusha. Purusha means, okay, it can mean like a male, but it can also mean in a generic sense, human. So anybody can connect logically by meaning this samasa.
Oh, eater of human feces.
Human too.
Well, if it would be human feces, it would have been, you know, Purusha Purisha Ada. You know? Now we need to connect in order from the last word to the first word. And it's kind of strict. So, but yeah, so therefore we
His
have,
own soul.
sorry?
One who eats his own soul.
One who eats his own stool, but there is no own. There is no like sva or atma that would indicate own.
Stool of man-eater.
Yeah. Of man-eaters, yes. Oh, stool, you can say among man-eaters. Among the eaters of humans. Okay, so Rakshasas, they were known for their occasional cannibalistic habits. So he's, I mean, it's already quite a lowly position to be a cannibal. And then if you are called a stool among the cannibals, that's really, that's what Kshatriyas do before the fight, you know, they incite each other's anger. So Rama is also, you know, expert in it. So Purisha, okay, so that's how we go. We go from the last word and we connect things right to left. Purisha, okay, O stool among the eaters of humans. So next, Yan. Yan, what could be Yan?
It's a Sandhi transformation. Yet.
Yat, correct.
Yat.
Because we see the next word starts with N, so it's most likely Yan. Even though there are some, grammatically, there are some possibilities of the word being just Yan, it's most likely Yat with change to N. So what could Yat be? Yat could mean a few things. As a pronoun, it means which. Can Yat be something else than a pronoun?
Something like because, right?
Yes, it can be, and you are right. There is also one undeclinable word, yat, if you open the avyaya list, and the definition is yasmad dhetoho, which means for which reason. Okay, or we just translate because. Okay, you can find it on the avyaya list. So it's really it's kind of a different word, even though it looks like a pronoun, which. But here particularly it will be the avyaya, because. Next, naha. Naha.
Pronoun?
It's a pronoun. Okay. So which case it could be?
Sixth case.
6,
2, 4, 6.
1. Yeah. What other option it could be?
2, 4.
It could be 4, 1. Yeah. Chaturthi. Vishnu, the Vibhakti, yeah. Vishnu Bhakti. So naha, hour. Okay. The original word is nas, and that s turns into visarga. Next word, kanta samaksham. So what's the next word then? Is it a
It's a
compound?
two word. Sandhi,
Two words merged by sandhi.
kanta, asamaksham.
Kanta and asamaksham, correct. So let's do kanta, meaning beloved. Noun. It's a feminine noun because yeah, long a at the end. And yeah, 1 it's a feminine, kanta, beloved. And next is asamaksham.
Unprotected.
Asamaksham. Asamaksham is not exactly unprotected. What is samaksham?
Oh, when without the presence.
Yeah. Without being seen directly. In other words, asamaksham, clandestinely. Okay, meaning without being witnessed. Or maybe clandestinely gives it a negative. But anyway, it means, yeah. And it's a second case because the word is samaksha. Second case, and it will be neuter. And yeah, let's leave it like that, and we'll make some changes later. Next word, asata pahrita. So what's going on there? Asata pahrita. Where do we break? There are definitely two words. I know the one apahrita.
Asata.
Asata,
Yeah.
apahrita.
Apahrita. It's yeah, definitely refers to kanta. So and meaning is
Kidnapped.
snatched. Yeah, kidnapped, taken away, Apahrita specifically implies, you know, in an illegal way, like apahara, apa. So and then asata. So asata, what's the ending? Is it short or longer? Asata.
Long.
It's a noun. Yeah. Long. Yeah. Asata. So what's then the word? The original word.
Is
Asat.
it sat?
Huh?
Is it sat?
Asat.
Asat. Masculine of asat.
Asat.
Yeah.
Sat.
Asat meaning
Sinful.
unholy, yeah, or sinful. Sat meaning saintly, or just even sat can mean just good, well behaved. But asat meaning yeah, bad behaved or unholy, everything else. And the tritiya vibhakti, which means by the, let's translate it as wicked, okay? Evil, okay, by the wicked. Apahrita shvavat. Next is shvavat. Shvavat. So we know shva,
Dog.
dog, and vat is a tadhita pratyaya, tadhita suffix, which means like a dog, and it makes it undeclinable. Shvavat. It doesn't take any vibhaktis. Te. Te is a pronoun. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's say it's masculine, or maybe even it will not have actually a gender here. What is te? What te could be? Te could be. I know te could be masculine. Yeah. Plural. First case plural. Then it could be feminine, dual. First and second case, neuter, first and second case, dual. What else it could be?
6.1.
Yeah.
Tava.
6.1 of tava, or tubhyam 4.1 also. Tubhyam tavayoste. So here it is that te, your, and it's a pronoun. Which pronoun? Yushmad means from Yushmad we get tvam. Okay, in the first case singular it's tvam, and this is sixth case singular te, your. Next, tyaktatrapasya. Tyaktatrapasya. That's a noun. And sya means it will be masculine or neuter, 6-1. So let's presume it's masculine. Tyaktatrapasya. So what is trapa? Trapa.
Shame.
Shame, yeah. Trapa is shame. And tyakta, given up, okay? Or abandoned, okay? Let's say, so tyakta trapa means abandoned shame. And tyakta trapasya, of abandoned shame. Now, if I take it one step ahead, and if I don't talk about the shame, yeah, I mean, it means shameless, yeah. But if I take it a step ahead from the point of view of Sanskrit, and I may speak about the shame that was abandoned, or I may speak about something else. You see that here we have already te means your, and we have another you. What kind of you? We have 6-1. It's an adjective of te, which means that this is a bahuvrihi compound, and bahuvrihi is pointing to an object out of it. So which means somewhere else in the sentence or somewhere else in the verse, there will be the one whose shame was abandoned. Okay. Who has abandoned your shame. Okay. So this is what it is. Now, palam.
Fruit.
Yeah, fruit or result. Yeah. Noun neuter. It's always neuter. Palam. Okay. Fruit result. Fruit result. Adya. Adya. Today. Today or now. Sometimes it means just now, right now, in this moment. Jugupsitasya. Okay, another masculine sixth case, but it's no more compound, so just masculine sixth case. Jugupsitasya. So what means jugupsa? There is a noun, jugupsa. Well, it means,
Yes.
yeah, it means contemptible. Jugup. There's a noun, jugupsa. Why it's not showing to me? Okay. Okay, jugupsanam, it's showing. Dislike, aversion, disgust. Okay. And jugupsita, it's a participle. Passive participle. Jugupsitasya. That's a despicable. Low class, like worthy of contempt. Jugupsitasya. So jugupsita. Yachami. Okay, this sounds like a verb. Ami. Verb. What's the dhatu? Any grammarians could suggest?
Yes.
Yum. Yum. You know that only if you have studied the verbs, because there's just one sutra that ordains some substitution. Well, it's a present tense, just normal present tense. Yachami. And yum. What does yum mean? Yum could mean a couple of things. Yum. One thing is to check, to curb, to restrain. But another meaning is also to offer and to give. Okay. So yachami could mean I'm checking, I'm curbing, I'm restraining, or it could mean I'm giving, I'm offering, I'm bestowing. So
Because there is palam.
I'm
That
giving.
means
Yeah,
I'm giving.
exactly. So now we already have a fruit, so most likely they're connected. I'm giving. Okay. So it will be that meaning of giving. By the way, one of the most famous dhatus, you must have heard gachami, okay? Gachami, and the verb is gam. So in the present tense and in many forms of the present tense, that m would be substituted by this cha, okay, conjunct. So gachami from gum, same way we get yachami from yum. And another one is there, ichami from ish. Okay, so these three dhatus. Ish means to desire, gum to go, and yum to control or to give. They will undergo this kind of change in many forms of the present tense. Gachati, yachati, ichati. Gachami, yachami, and what's the third one? Ichami. Okay, I desire. Okay, so this is just a grammatical point that you might note down, because this is just the rule just for those three dhatus. I will just gum, ish, and yum. Gum, ish, and yum. Okay, and then kala. Okay, let's see. Let's copy this one. Kala. Okay, we are here. Masculine one, yeah. Visarga is gone because of the sandhi. Kalaha.
Death.
Death.
Person.
Yeah, literally it means time, but often it implies specifically death. Yeah, as you say. Eva. Okay, undeclinable. Eva, like. And kartur. 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 Well, I see that the ra is from the sandhi of
Visarga.
visarga. Yeah. Kartuhu becomes kartur, and it's masculine. So in which case, first of all, what's the original word? Kartuhu. Undeclined
Kartri.
word. Huh?
Kartri.
Kartri, yes. Kartri means doer, performer, agent. Okay. And kartuhu can be only two options. 5-1
5161.
or 6-1. Yeah. So let's presume it's 5-1 of the doer. And alangyaviryaha. So this is a compound. Alangyaviryaha. So virya, power, okay? Let's change this. Power. What's alangya? So lung means to, what do you say that?
Pass.
To limp, okay?
Pass over.
Sorry, to cross over, lung, to transgress, okay? To transgress and cross over. So alangya, it's a kridanta, something that cannot be transgressed, okay? So we can say unexcelled power, okay? Or unrefutable power, yeah, in that way, that power that you cannot transgress. Okay, so it's alangyaviryaha. And it could be, we could be talking about the power, or we could be talking about somebody who has unrefutable power as a bahuvrihi samasa. So let's mention it here as a bahuvrihi. I'll repeat again, bahuvrihi means lots of rice. Lots of rice. So we are not talking about the rice, but we are talking about the person who has lots of rice. And that's the meaning of the whole class of samasas. That, exactly interpreted like that. All right, so these are the words. Now let's put it all.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, yeah.
This shvavat, dog-like,
Yeah.
is this a compound or is just a word formed with vat?
It's just a word formed with vat.
Okay.
Because vat is not a word in itself, it's a suffix.
Yeah.
So it's just
Why there is an I in between?
Did somebody ask a question? It was not clear.
No.
Oh.
No, I was asking if it is a word, why there is an I between swa and
Oh,
va?
shvavat. Yeah. Sometimes in I copied the text from somewhere and they had it. Otherwise, yes, we don't need to have this vat. Shvavat. Maybe it's just so that those who read can easily recognize that it's made from shva and vat. Otherwise, shvavat, somebody might be perplexed. But yeah, we don't need a hyphen there. So aha, okay, the subject of aha. Aha is an active verb, therefore the subject will be in the first case. First vibhakti.
Rama.
Rama, yeah. It's right there next to it. Rama. Rama told any object.
Tam.
Tam told, okay. him, and it would point to the previous verse where Ravana was described chasing Rama. Okay, Rama told him. Next, and the remainder of the verse is basically the quote. There is usually quotes are marked with iti, but sometimes in the verses specifically, this iti is not explicitly mentioned. It just has to be understood. Okay, so let's start. Purushada Purisha. Purushada Purisha, it will be our Sambodhana address. Okay. Yanna, because our, okay. Naha, Kanta, okay? We connect Naha to Kanta, our beloved. Okay, sometimes you may use plural pronouns to indicate yourself or others, even though the object is singular, and that's fine. Asamaksham would be adverb, clandestinely, or not within our vision, not in front of our eyes. Okay. Asata, by the wicked. Apakrita, taken away. So Kanta, apakrita. So Kanta would be the object of apakrita. So let's color her in an object color. Kanta was apakrita. Asamaksham, that's connected to apakrita. Taken away how? Taken away clandestinely. Okay. Apakrita. Shvavat. Where do we connect Shvavat? To Ravana. The thing is that this vat can it could be related to the action or to the object. Both possibilities are there. So was Ravana like a dog, or did he taken her away, stolen her like a dog? That's the question. What do you feel?
He stole.
Yeah, I think connected to apakrita. Yeah, I was just revising those rules in the Tadhita, and I learned that this vat could be, connected to the kriya as well, not only to the. Okay, it was taken away. Okay, asamaksham yannaha. Okay, another part of the sentence is done. Let's move it somewhere up. Another part. Tyakta trapasya phalam adya jugupsitasya. Okay, so te.
Left.
I'll just combine here. Te jugupsitasya. Any other six words? Kartuhu. If it's a 6-1 option, which is most likely is. Sixth one is more popular than 5-1. Tyakta trapasya. Where is Tyakta trapasya? Oh, did it go somewhere? Oh, it was hiding there. Yeah. Tyakta trapasya. is here. So this is all sixth case, referring to Ravana. So why is it all in the sixth case? What is connected? Why Ravana, why he addresses Ravana in the sixth case, like of him or in relation to him? What? Okay, yachami, I'm giving what? Is there any object?
Phalam.
Okay. I'm
Phala.
giving the result. Yeah. I'm giving the result. Or yachami. You see, in the present tense can also express the very near future. So I think we can do it here. I will give. Like right now, I will give. And in Sanskrit, you can say yachami instead of yakshyami or whatever form is there. Phalam, result, the result. I will give you the result. So what about alangyaviryaha in the first case? Well, there is only one thing. Yeah. It refers to Rama, but it's kind of yeah, it's a description of Rama, but syntactically it's not connected with Rama from the previous sentence because this is Rama's speech. So therefore, we can it's somehow the aham is implied here. So I of unrefutable power, whose power is unrefutable. And we can, I think we can do that. We can sort of imply aham. Okay. All right, so it's about him and Yachami. I will give you the result. Give you when? Today or now? Right now. Now we have Kala. Like death, okay? Like death. Iva Kala. Let's bring it to okay. I Alangavirya like death will give you. Okay, so what about the let's finish off with this sixth case. What are the suggestions? Who has abandoned your shame, the doer, despicable, all are in sixth case, so they are all related to something here. What are they related to? What can be belonging to Ravana in the last sentence?
The fruit.
I think so. I'll now, give you your result, your fruit, the fruit of your actions. In other words, phalam te, your your, who are the doer of you. So I don't need to mention every time this of, okay, who has abandoned all shame and who are despicable, contemptible. Okay, so this is how it is. Yeah. Now we have one more thing here, not connected, because. Where do we connect because? Somewhere above. Rama told him, "O stool among the man-eaters." Because.
Ahrita.
Yes. So because apahrita, it's kind of, yeah, it's connected to apahrita, and it's somewhere connected, even though not syntactically, but by meaning, we can say it's connected to the Sambodhana. In other words, Rama is clarifying why he calls Ravana like that, because he has taken away his beloved without being seen, like a dog. So therefore he is so lowly. Okay, asata. Oh, one more thing, asata. Where do we connect asata? By the wicked. Well, there's only one thing, apahrita.
Apahrita.
Yeah, and it would be third case. Why third case? What's the meaning of the third case we are using here?
By the wicked.
Yeah, but by the meaning, what it is it instrument? Is it a specific characteristic? Is it a sahartha, like together with, or is it a doer? Well, it's a doer. It's an agent.
Doer.
Yeah, it's an agent of apahrita, and let's color apahrita as a verb. So it's like, it's a kridanta. It's declined like a noun, but in its nature, this kind of kridanta does have a verbal role to it. Okay, so this is the sentence. Rama told him, "Oh, stool among the eaters of humans, because the wicked you, because our beloved was taken away by the wicked you clandestinely like a dog, then I will, I who am like death, whose power is irrefutable." Well, let's say Alangyavirya. I think Alangyavirya would go with Kala, you know, who's, yeah, like time or like death, whose power is unrefutable, will give you now your fruit. Your who are the doer of that, you know, action, and who has abandoned your shame and who is despicable. Okay, so yet because and we have to imply here also like tasmad, for that reason. It's kind of implied, you know, it's not in the verse, but for that reason, kind of implied here. For that reason I'll give, because you have taken away like a dog. For that reason I'll punish you. Okay, so is there any question? Is everything clear with all the parts?
Oh, I have a question. So when you're identifying the vibhakti cases, right?
Yeah.
So do you personally identify using the tables you have memorized or using the grammatical rules?
Well, I'm already familiar with all the endings, so I see the ending. I have already all my options ready in my head. Then I look into the context. I look at the other words of the verse. Like here, for example, we have te, then we have trapasya, then we have jugupsitasya. What else? Kartuhu. Okay, so I can see a whole line of words in the sixth case. So it immediately clicks to me that okay, they could be related. So then I look at the possibilities on the spot. So what they could be related to, what most likely to palam, because you know, what else, you know, yeah, like that. Step number one, of course, yes, you have to know your vibhaktis and all the options. And then step number two, you look around and you know, every verse is so unique that there's really not like not a single technique that you can connect it all. It's kind of, you have to have a few strategies ready. Sometimes the words just by their meaning help you to connect them together, but sometimes you just have to rely on grammar, and especially if there is some verse, if you don't know some story. This story is quite famous, so we can, even without knowing grammar, you can kind of translate the verse just by knowing the word for word. But sometimes you translate stories that you don't know, so there you have to just rely on grammar and heavily, and then that only helps you to come out. So therefore it's very important to keep on this practice, to keep practicing it, because it's not something that you can figure out just by one strategy, or you know, just by looking at nouns, or just by looking at vibhaktis, or just by looking at verbs. Everything, you know, you employ, it's like angle of vision, you know. You look at the verse from the vibhakti point of view. Okay, does everything make sense? Okay, no, something is still unclear. Then you switch something in your head. Okay, look from the verb point of view. Okay, now your whole paradigm shifts. Okay, now you're considering, okay, passive, active, then how it will affect the other parts of sentence. So it's like a few angles of vision you have grammatically, and you look from one angle, from another angle, and then gradually, you know, you tie the pieces together. So it comes only by continuous practice. And to tell you that the truth is that these verses are not the easy ones. It's quite demanding verses regarding grammar, because first of all, there are many things in the verses. These are not short verses. These are Vasanta Tilaka, 14 syllables. Therefore, there will be many words, much more than in regular Anushtubh, like Bhagavad Gita type verses. But anyway, there's nothing to be scared, because ultimately it all comes down to the same principles. And sometimes I'll tell you the truth, that sometimes to translate a short verse like Bhagavad Gita sized verse, sometimes that is more confusing and difficult than to translate long verses. Because often many things are kind of presumed and implied without being said in the short verses. Whereas long verses, you know, everything is really spelled out very clearly, because, you know, there's enough space to do that. So I enjoy much more, to tell you the truth, to translate longer verses because they are more clear. Of course, not always, but that's my general observation for many years, that I like long verses a lot because many things are really clear there. So yeah, keep on coming regularly, and yeah, with time you start noticing that you kind of develop this kind of mentality, and especially if you maintain your personal study, like every day or every chunk of free time that you have, you kind of learn one more bite of grammar. You kind of take one more bite, one more ending you learn, one more vibhakti you learn. So gradually you kind of equip yourself with more and more knowledge, which is kind of ready at your fingertips. And along with that, you keep on practicing, because if you just focus on memorizing the tables without really applying it, as we do now at these sessions, it will all kind of be dry. And yeah, I've seen like we had students in our Sanskrit school in Govardhan who were very much into the sutras, and endings and all that, but they were very much confused whenever it came to translating a verse. They were very kind of yeah, as if the ground was was disappearing from their feet. They couldn't feel confident because they were most of their attention went on memorizing the endings and all that technical stuff, but they didn't see the bigger picture, so which is very, very important. And the earlier you start doing it, the stronger you will be as a, I mean, you can call Sanskritist or Sanskrit reader. The earlier you'll start doing what we are doing now here, the better you will be in the long run. So that's kind of my realization.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question, although I don't know if it's appropriate, but because it's not about grammar per se. As we're going through these verses, I just had a question I never thought of before. Since Ravana stole Sita clandestinely instead of taking her on directly, and then he waited to the very end of the battle. Pushed all of his generals and brothers and sons.
Yeah.
From the beginning, was he afraid of her?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Even though, and also he was very much bragging of his powers, but whatever he did was kind of, it was self-defeating, because he just acted like a coward all the time, even though he was very, very kind of boastful person by nature. Yeah. Sitting behind and observing how all his generals are dying for him.
It's interesting because after going through these verses, I never considered that before. He was such a braggart, you would think that he wouldn't be like that, but it sure appears in his activities. That's what it was like.
Yeah. True. Okay. So take a screenshot before I publish these notes, and yeah, I'm about, yeah, let me share with you. Okay. You want to get something new right now? Right on the just I'll share with you something, not to everyone. One second. How do I attach a file? I forgot to do that. everyone publicly. Huh. Orientation. I used to send before files on the chat. I forgot how to do that.
Prabhu, files in chat are not downloadable in mobile phones.
I know, yeah. On the computer, they're downloadable. Anyway, yeah, there will be really some nice updates on the existing reference materials on the website. And one more I did, I before tomorrow's session, it will come there. So make sure you check sometime tomorrow afternoon the website, and in the reference materials, you will get some updates, some nice updates. I will, whatever I update, I will put V2, means version 2. All right, so then, yeah.
What is the update?
It will be, you know, some updates in the Sandhi, some additional explanations. One important thing in the Sandhi rules, in the noun cases, meanings of noun cases, there will be one additional reference material about Sanskrit sentence with some tips about just the way the words are connected. So like that, yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, just check before the meeting tomorrow, sometime before it will appear there. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for attending. Shri Ramachandro Vijayate, Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, and see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Manu, are you still there? Can I just have 5 minutes with you?
Yes,
everybody can leave the meeting. I'll just spend with a new member some time. Yes. So yeah, you have. How have you come to know about this meeting room?
I'm basically part of a forum, and I was inquiring, that I'm interested in learning Sanskrit.
Yeah.
And one of the fellow colleagues who was